Something's boggling my mind here, y'all. How can there be a state of Palestine? I'm about to say, how can there be a state? How can there be a state of Palestine when you got Hamas ruling the Gaza Strip and you got the PLO so-called trying to rule Judea and Samaria, which what they call the West Bank? You got two pieces of so-called land, and you want to call that the state of Palestine when you got two governments. And yet, does that make any sense at all? Are they counting on Israel to say, okay, well, once you take out Hamas, then we'll really be Palestine? So it seems to me that there's going to be no more negotiations, no more coming to the table with any president whatsoever. They've done abandoned all that. They said, okay, well, forget all that now. We are now the state of Palestine, and they have no actual form of government, one unity government. They have two, the PLO and then Hamas, which is not agreeing with him in a lot of things. They wiped them out. I mean, they pretty much got rid of them, kicked them out of the Gaza Strip, and they want to call that part of the state of Palestine. They want to go to the United Nations and say, hey, this is the state of Palestine too, even though we're not governing it. Gaza Strip. Does that make sense? It don't make sense, does it? It's just stupid. It's stupid. It's dumb. And then also with that, you have their demands on the United Nations, and on top of that, you have Hamas taking over the United Nations refugees. UNRWA. So the United Nations is allowing this. They're allowing Hamas to stranglehold them, to hold them, even them captive, along with the rest of the hostages captive. And they're doing and they're complying to everything they want within UNRWA. And they're also doing the same thing that the West Bank wants, calling them a state, even though they're two parts of Palestine. The one is ruled by Hamas for now, and the other part is ruled by PLO. And that part on the PLO, the Judea and Samaria, which are really biblical lands, which belong to the state of Israel, they call that a state. But they can't do that with Hamas or in Gaza. How can they do that? Are they counting on Israel or the United Nations or whoever else to really wipe them out? And then it's, oh, we're really a state now. No. This book tells us who has what. This book tells us that Palestine was wiped out a long time ago. This book tells us what will happen to those who part God's lands. The deed is in here. It's not in a UN charter. It's not anything to do with the United States or England or anything else or the Balfour Declaration, unless God allows it to be so. It just boggles my mind how they call themselves a state. How they call themselves a state when they got two pieces of land that are not connected, and there are two governments in those lands. One's a terrorist, the other one's, they call themselves democratic and all that stuff, but really, I think if he had a chance and if he could, he would be no better than the Ayatollah of Iran. You know, of course, the supreme leader of Iran, he'd probably be the same as that. Yeah, it's sad people get killed all the time. And I know, the Iranian president, he got killed, and stuff. And hopefully this new president will kind of settle down a little bit and not help out Hezbollah, but Houthis, what do you call them, or even Hamas. I mean, it's just so silly. It just hurts my brain for these people who are just nothing but Arabs, calling themselves the state of Palestine, and they got one government that is using them as human shields, the other government claiming they're democracy. How can they do that? It just boggles my mind. It hurts my brain. It really confounds me. I don't know. Does it you? Because it really does me. Oh, we're a state now. No more arguments about it. We're a state. We're in two pieces, but we're a state. Even though Hamas runs that strip of land, Gaza Strip, we're still a state. Ooh, in your face, it's red. We're a state now. But you don't have control of all your state pieces, do you? You don't have control, but you call yourself a state. Does anyone see the absurdity and stupidity in all this? And like I said, it just boggles my mind. It just makes my head hurt to even think about it.